Oh, here we go. Let's see, optical, optician. Noun, plural, opticians. One who solves problems. Oh, I like that. Hello, I would like to welcome you to the Laramy-K Optician Works Training Center, where a few weeks ago I posted a quick fix with epoxy and the response to it was simply overwhelming. So I thought, heck, I would do another one. If you find these videos helpful, please hit the subscribe button down there. Feel free to leave me a message and make absolutely certain that every uncut lens in your optical world comes from Laramy-K. This is what a typical broken spring hinge looks like. Just like our plastic eye wire fix, this is a temporary repair to get your customer by for a few days. You may be waiting for a new replacement frame or lenses to come back for the lab if you're doing a complete new pair. The only way to repair metal is welding, and obviously we are not about to do that. The epoxy is used simply to hold things in place. As I mentioned in the last video, I like using demo lenses for mixing epoxy. They're disposable and their bowl shape makes them great for the job. I'm in no hurry here. I dispense 2 equal parts of epoxy and stir, stir, stir. Only then do I start the timer, and even then I'm waiting for it to start to tack up just a little. Once I'm ready, I dip the end of the paper clip in the mix and grab a bowl of epoxy. Be super careful that you don't drag a string of it with you, since that will cause a mess. I want to place epoxy inside the open box section of the broken hinge. Not too much, not too little. I don't want it to ooze out all over the place when I put the 2 pieces back together. Now, of course, you could just slobber epoxy all over the entire area and glue things so that the temple was not only permanent, but permanently open. But that's not what we are after here. In fact, our goal here is to have the temple that still works just like it did. That's why I'm working it periodically to make sure I didn't get any epoxy in the wrong places. Let me jump in here with a side note. I just said that in this case we want this pair to function much as it did before it was broken. That's not always the case. I used to do a lot of work with the disabled folks. I had a gentleman with one arm, and that one arm was quite compromised. So you can kind of imagine how hard it would be to put a pair of glasses on if both temples were folded up. So he asked that I make it a rigid temple, so this would never flex again, so he could open up and always put his glasses on. It would never risk hitting and closing on him when he was putting his glasses on. So I kind of did, not the opposite exactly, but I spread the epoxy around the entire thing, let it harden up, sculpted it a little bit with a file, and he was able to wear his glasses. My 5 minutes are up, but my epoxy isn't quite ready, so I'll give it another 5 minutes. In reality, I would just set these in a tray for a few hours before touching them again. But as you can see, I can now wiggle that temple and tug on it, and it will stay put. Another quick fix with epoxy. Thanks for watching. I will see you again next week.